Hey guys, it's Flo here again, and I just wanted to talk about the miracle of life. Recently, I've been complaining a lot, and I wanted to think more about being grateful for small things. Like the fact that I have a roof over my head, and I can make coffee and tea in the morning, and we really lucked out in terms of being born, whoever's watching this. The odds of us being born is slim to none. Millions and trillions of genetic coding for us to be able to live on planet Earth and really think about the fact that I have working hands, I have working limbs, I can walk, I could talk, I could experience life in a normal way. And the fact that I live in Canada, right now it's becoming summertime. So my moods are getting a lot better. And I've been recognizing that I've just been complaining a lot. And I think in order to not complain, a lot of it just comes down to your mindset, in my opinion. Um, there was a time that I used to write down three things that I was grateful for in the morning and three things I was looking forward to, and affirmations of how I view myself, maybe as a leader, charismatic, lovable, friendly. Um, and I want to go back to thinking that way. I think that when I'm so focused on thinking about finding a job and money, I forget about the small things. And that's just gratitude. I think I started practicing it a while back, and it's really affected my life in such a positive way. And I thought about the friends that I'm surrounded by and the family that I have and all these little small things, and all of it really boiled down to just being grateful every day. And then also before I slept, I'd write down three things that really made my day and three things that I could improve on. Um, and I did that every day for a while, and I ended up getting a good job. I was able to move out. I was able to save. I was able to just enjoy life a little bit more. When I go biking downtown Toronto, I really have a sense of peace. And that's just because I'm not thinking about negative things. Um, I think we all get kind of caught up in it, especially in the winter time. I don't know about you, but in the winter time, I don't know if I'm not getting enough vitamin D or just not enough sunlight. It's just not fun. And I try to do different things in the winter to better my mood. I travel, go somewhere warm. Um, I try to talk to my friends as much as possible, my mom, my family, maybe keep my mind occupied, go to work. And I don't know, like, I think just I really wanted to talk out loud about the idea of just being grateful every day. And it does really affect your life. It really does. Because I think the way you think sort of, I don't want to use the word manifest, but it does view the way you see the physical world. Your mind is just as part as the physical world. Everything's sort of interconnected, and I wanted to get back to that mindset. And I think talking about it makes it a little bit more concrete. When you're just thinking about things, it's all in your head. And when you say things out loud, things tend to happen. And I think that's the idea here. By talking out loud, good things will happen. And I think that I'm hoping that it'll work out for me again. Right now, I'm unemployed and I wasn't looking for jobs, but now I am. And it's kind of putting me down with the job market. And And I understand, I get it. Everything's connected in terms of even the politics of things and how people are and what's going on in the world. And for a while, I was really disconnected from looking at the news. I didn't have social media for a long time. So I was really just living in my own bubble. Because I think that when you're working like 50, 60 hours a week, you tend not to think about anything else except work because you're just so busy and tired. And now that I've had a lot of time to really ponder and sit down with myself, and I want to make sure that my mind is in the right place before I move on to the next thing. I think that's the most important thing. I think that when your mind is in a good place, good things will happen. I don't really know anybody that was in a negative headspace and good things happened. And so I think it is very important for me to practice being optimistic and practice thinking about my thoughts in terms of what am I really thinking about? Am I thinking about, am I going down a negative spiral? Am I looking at news of what's going on in the world? Or do I really want to focus a lot on myself? I think there's a balance for all that personally. And and I think that's also a form of meditation, isn't it? When you meditate, you're sitting down with your thoughts, you're sort of letting thoughts go in and thoughts go out, sort of like a flow state, but also being aware and recognizing what exactly you're thinking of. The person that you talk to the most is yourself, if you really think about it, because your thoughts are what's kind of going on in your mind every day. I heard this fact, I don't know if it's a fact, but it's a study that you think about 20,000 thoughts throughout the day, and majority of it is the same things that you thought of yesterday. So if I was personally thinking about my life sucks and I'm gonna go nowhere and think about how sad I am, then that's just what I'm gonna think about majority of the day. And I don't really want to think that way. I think it's not healthy. And there are times where I'm really good at practicing gratitude, and there are times where I fall off, and I think it's just part of the human experience, really. And I really want to focus this summer on my thoughts and making sure that I can control them in a way that I am thinking a little bit more optimistic and positive about my outlook in life and just how the world is. And there's so much noise and news of what's going on. And I think that if you're able to filter out and find the right frequency of, okay, like this is where I want to be in terms of how I think, then that in turn will show up into the physical world. And I don't know if it's like a spirituality thing or if it's a science or a psychology. I just know like anecdotally, it's been working for me for the last couple of years. And and it's hard to control things that are out of your reach, and I don't think there's too much of a point in it. I think that it's really important to focus on the things you can control. And I'm saying all this because this is just what's worked out for me. I'm 31 years old now, and I should be a little bit more mature in terms of how I am as a person and being confident, and all those factors, they all kind of play a part in terms of my personality and how I am and how I want to present myself to the world. Um, it's sort of like being an actor, and the idea of fake it till you make it. I don't really like that sort of phrase, fake it till you make it. I don't know what you think, but I think that maybe we should change it to fake it till you become it. If you keep thinking this way, you'll eventually become that type of person. And growing up, I didn't really have anyone to teach me these things. A lot of it, of the advice I learned through books, I learned through the internet, and I really felt that doing these things has benefited me so greatly, and maybe it'll help out other people if they were to recognize just doing these small acts of thinking and then taking action on your thoughts. In my case, I'm just speaking out loud, can really affect the way your life turns out. And so, right now it's a beautiful day. It's 21 degrees. I'm at the beach. I see people biking and with their family and kayaking and walking their dogs, and I'm really appreciative of the life that I'm currently living. Really. Right now I'm in a car, and I never thought I would have a car growing up. And I actually never thought I'd have a license because living downtown Toronto, you don't need a car. But I thought, this summer I really want to do little road trips, maybe go up to Algonquin Park. It's a big national, or I don't know if it's a national park, but it's a huge park full of nature, and you can hike, and it's beautiful up there. And I was thinking about maybe going to the east coast of Canada. So over there they have the Atlantic Ocean, and apparently you can go whale watching. They have really good seafood, and it's really beautiful in the prairies. And I think I want to really spend this summer appreciating the fact that I live in this country, because I think a lot of people think about wanting to leave this country. And I don't know if that's the right mentality a lot of times. Like, it makes sense during the winter. Because during the winter, it is brutal. I'd love to go skiing and snowboarding, but growing up, I couldn't afford these things. So I would just kind of walk outside, but it'd be negative 20 degrees and it would be cold, and I would just want to go inside. But in the summertime, I feel the city comes alive, the country comes alive, and you can really feel the energy of people moving about and having a little bit more hop to their step, and I'm definitely a summer guy. I mean, now that I'm talking about it. So, I just wanted to make a quick little thing about understanding that it is a miracle that we are alive today in this world currently. And I think by thinking life is such a miracle, I get a little bit more of my childlike mm, personality back that I'd like. Thinking more about imagining things, and and that in turn helps with gratitude. So those are my thoughts. If anyone's watching this, I really want to know what you think. Um, I'm interested to see if other people have practiced gratitude and how it affected your lives. So that's it. Okay.